Thank you. So, I was running some numbers, and it turns out that over the last 4 years, I have worked with 92 of 132 of you all. So, that was kind of a staggering number to me as well. It's kind of incredible. And I would say that over the last 4 years, between teaching you and coaching you and advising you, I've also learned a ton from your class. Now, before proceeding to my speech, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention probability. So, you know how much I love probability, and hopefully you all love probability as much as I do. So, I don't know how many of you realize this, but prior to this moment, the conditional probability that I was Britney Spears, given that I was on this stage, was 1. Unbelievable. So I am most thankful for this opportunity. So I'm most thankful for this opportunity to reduce that number by a factor of 2. Okay. So it was a cool evening in February. Lakeside chess team was having its master session. One of your class told me, let's not have pizza tonight. Let's order some chef at wok. Okay. So I ordered chef at wok. I'm sitting there. I like sweets, so got a fortune cookie. Now, I open this fortune cookie, and I'm expecting the usual piece of advice or something that's pretty predictable and utterly useless, like good things are coming soon, or, you know, great challenge awaits, or something entirely obvious like this. But this time, I got a really cool message. And this is actually the basis for my speech today. The message was, do not rush through life, pause and enjoy it. Whoa. So, again, my expectations going into this fortune cookie were for a nice sweet treat, not for some grand piece of wisdom that I carry with me into a baccalaureate speech, certainly. Again, do not rush through life, pause and enjoy it. So, I'm sure many of you sitting in the room right now are thinking, Sankriti's up there telling us not to rush through life. That's kind of dubious. Yes, that's fair, touche. And I commend all of you who mentally use the word dubious. It really is a fabulous word. Okay, so what I thought we'd do today is talk a little bit about this quote, and maybe look at some other quotes from pop culture that I think are kind of relevant to this idea of rushing through life. So, in my mind, I think in these times, a lot of people are rushing. We set goals, we rush to meet them, we set up lists, we go through the lists, we get through them successfully, and then we hit our goal. We're happy. For a second. Then we make a whole bunch more lists to achieve our next goal, and we create something of an infinite sequence. Yes? I think this is reasonably familiar for many of us. So, on this topic of dreams and aspirations, I want to present an idea which I'm going to call the continuum of dreams. So, let's just think of this continuum. It can go across the stage or something. I know you've all probably seen continuum in the context of politics or whatever. Incidentally, the only other word with consecutive U's. Vacuum. Vacuum, very nice. So, continuum of dreams. Let's start on one far end of this continuum. So how many of you have seen the movie Dodgeball? Okay, so I'm going to start with a quote from the movie Dodgeball. Okay? So I know some of you are probably now saying, what does dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge have to do with dreams? Not much. Different quote. So, hero of this movie, Peter LaFleur, those of you who don't know this, I apologize. He said, I found that if you have a goal, then you might not reach it. But if you don't have one, then you are never disappointed. And I have to tell you, it feels phenomenal. Well, That's interesting, Peter LaFleur. So, I imagine that many of you at this point are saying, well, that's completely ridiculous and rather defeatist, and I can't really argue with that. As I said, it's on one extreme of this continuum of dreams, which we're going to be discussing a little bit today. But maybe we can glean at least a slight nugget of truth from Peter LaFleur. So, again, he said he's never disappointed, right? So maybe that's something we can actually take. So, the way I would say is, if we can approach our dreams, right? Work hard to achieve our dreams, have them certainly, but if they don't pan out exactly the way we anticipated, not be disappointed, be happy in the fact that we tried, and move on with our lives. Right? So maybe Peter LaFleur had something there. If we go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have Master Yoda. Now, you all know I love Yoda. If you go to my office, we're there, got a full life-size standee of Yoda. I love the guy. Here's what he said. Do or do not. There is no try. Many of you have heard this quote, I'm sure. Do or do not. There is no try. Great line, no doubt. Again, slightly dubious there, right? I mean, of course there's try. I mean, it's a nice thought, right? We go into everything thinking we're going to do it. We put our full effort into it. We set our goals. We do everything we can to achieve that goal. We try, and more often than not, we get there. That's awesome. Every once in a while, maybe not. And that's okay. So, basically, the way I would say this is if we set goals for ourselves, as we should, and we don't achieve them, we should still be happy in the cognition that we tried our best in our attempt. Right? Does everybody think that's reasonable? Yeah? Okay. So, let's see. We've talked Chef at Wok, fortune cookies. What else? Star Wars. Yeah. So, let's see. Dodgeball, Pete LaFleur. So clearly, let's move on to Harry Potter. So, who in Harry Potter seems to be the guy for inspiration? Dumbledore, right? Headmaster. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Greatest wizard that ever lived. Right? Great, great guy. So, he gave us the following gem. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. It's pretty deep. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Anyone notice I've used a lot of D's in this speech so far? Yes. Anyway, I digress. So, to me, Dumbledore is in no way saying we shouldn't dream. Quite the contrary, in fact. I think what he's saying is that we should seek to challenge ourselves to new heights. I think he's saying that we should always keep the perspective, however, that we're living in the moment and living in the now, and that we should enjoy the moment while simultaneously thinking about the future. So what I would say to all of you, class of 2012, is during this baccalaureate and tomorrow at your commencement, enjoy the company of your friends, your teachers, your family, and all the well-wishers you have around you. Don't view that moment you walk up on stage tomorrow as merely a springboard to bigger and better things, but rather as a momentous life event in itself. Savor the opportunity to learn from some of the best educators in the world when you go to college. Enjoy your life. Relax, have fun, keep dreams, but also keep that perspective that you're living in the now. And as I said, most importantly, have some fun. Do not rush through life. Pause and enjoy it. Thank you very much.